Good morning and welcome to Fort Zeller Elementary School. This is your principal, Mr. Lin, and I hope that you had a wonderful weekend. Today is Monday, December 20th, 2021, and it is a day 3. Now, before we kick off this wonderful day, I want to invite you, as I always do, to participate in the Mindful Minute. It's a good way to get ourselves to arrive at now, right? Because we are coming out of a weekend, whether you had a good weekend or not, it's definitely not at school, and things that happen over the weekend might weigh on your mind. Well, we all know that near the end of this week, we are moving into the winter holiday break, and a lot of us are getting really excited about that. So, this is our ultimate test, right? Can we just let go of being really excited about, what's happening in a few days? And can we let go of anything that's weighing on us from, the weekend before? We have today to celebrate, and let's notice those blessings, okay? So, use our eyes. You know how this drill goes. Look around, find something that catches your eyes, and study it. Maybe you're studying an entire object, or maybe you're staring and studying a small piece of that object in your room. But whatever it is, you have now gotten to a point, hopefully, where you realize you exist in the same room with that item. Study what it looks like, its shininess. Maybe it's dull. Maybe it has different colors, or maybe it has just one color. I'm looking at something that's pretty small, but it's pretty shiny. And I'm looking at something that is part of a bigger item. And it's okay. You could just notice that one part. That's okay. Take a breath in through your nose and out. What do you notice with your sense of smell? What memories does it bring up? Right? We all know, as I've shared with you now, that smells are very closely associated with helping you remember certain experiences you've had in your life. When I smell buttery popcorn, for instance, not that I smell it now, but if I smell buttery popcorn, it takes me back to going to the movie theaters when I was younger, right? So when you smell something, it might just bring up a nice memory. Or maybe not a nice memory, but that's okay too. It just simply reminds you. Pause for a moment, just listen. What do you hear? You know? What sounds are there that you didn't notice until now when you were asked to pay attention? It's crazy to think that we do this every day. We do this listening practice every day in the Mindful Minute, and yet we just let go of all those sounds that are happening right there that we just ignore until we're actually asked to pay attention to it. Isn't that crazy? That there are those sounds that are happening, and you just don't even notice them. Last but not least, what do you feel with your skin? I'm wearing a pretty comfortable sweatshirt today. This room is on the cooler end, so I feel quite comfortable in it, right? What do you feel with your skin? Okay, I'm going to use the Starfish Breathing technique because some of you guys have asked me to use that at lunch. So I said, we'll see. And here I am doing the Starfish Breathing method. So get yourself settled, get your body nice and comfortable in your chair. Notice how that chair holds you up. And same thing, notice how that floor holds your feet up, right? Your feet should be planted right there on the floor. All right, take that first breath in. Fill your belly full of that nice cool air. And let it out. Nice and slowly. Allow your shoulders to relax. Some of you guys have said you really like the rainbow breathing method. Go ahead and breathe in. I've seen many of our second graders do that recently when we were asked to just pause for a minute, breathe in, and then breathe out. Now, once you're in the rhythm of breathing in and out, just think about where your mind is. Hopefully your mind is paying attention to what's going on right here, this activity. Breathe out. And if it isn't, just be kind and bring that attention back to our breathing. Pretty easy. Breathe in. And then also think about what feelings you've brought to school. Breathe out. You don't have to get too worried about what event or what experience made you feel a particular way. Breathe in. But notice that you have those feelings that are pleasant and unpleasant. It's okay. Breathe out. Unpleasant feelings are okay. Breathe in. And instead of pushing them away, invite them into your heart. Sit with them. Breathe out. Let those feelings just exist. Breathe in. Notice what feelings they are. Notice how they feel like. Breathe out. And in due time, they'll ask to leave and they'll move on. The same thing with pleasant feelings. Breathe in. What pleasant feelings and emotions do you have today? Breathe out. Let your shoulders relax. Be kind to yourself. Enjoy the pleasant feeling of those emotions. Breathe in and out. Now, in a moment, you'll hear a bell or a chime. Listen to it as it gets quieter and quieter. And when you can't hear it anymore, you may then open your eyes and awaken to the world that is around you. Welcome to a new day right here at the fort where you are loved, where you are cared for, and where we want you to succeed. Now, whether you have a great day or not is ultimately your choice. So choose wisely, work at it, and yes, enjoy the rewards. At this moment, please stand and face the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And I really appreciate you. You can go ahead and take a seat. So many of you guys have been telling me that they like that I get to do the Mindful Minute with you. And I have to say, likewise, I love that so many of you guys are doing the Mindful Minute with me. Don't forget, we have 3 expectations here at the school. Number 1, show that you are respectful to yourself and others. Remember last Friday we talked about our hands, keeping our hands like they're pets, right? Sometimes our pets might go off and do things that we don't want them to do. If you've got a cat, maybe it'll scratch something you don't want it to scratch. Or if you've got a little puppy dog, it might, do the business that you would want it to do outside, inside, and you got to clean up after it. So as cute as those pets are, they can do things that you don't want them to do. And your hands are like that, right? Our hands can do unkind things. Those are things we don't want it to do. So what we want to do is control those hands. Same thing with our mouths and same thing with our feet and any other part of our body. If you've got a pencil, you can use it in kind ways to write kind words, or you can use them in unkind ways, right? So I was talking to a couple kids last week, and we talked about how if our hands are tempted, they really want to do something it shouldn't do, just take one hand, grab the other hand, and just let it sit right in front of you or behind your back. So there we go. That's how you can show respect to people, being able to control yourself, which also leads to being responsible with your body, being responsible with the words that come out of your mouth, being responsible with how respectful you are, right? And finally, show that you are ready to learn. There's a couple second graders I've talked to and first graders I've talked to recently who, sometimes things get really hard. And I want you, if that's you, or it could be anybody, don't give up, right? You may get so frustrated about a situation that you may want to throw in the towel and you want to give up. And that part of you exists. There are parts of Mr. Lin that will give up super easily. But there's also a Mr. Lin, and there's a part of you that says, you know what? I can do this. I'm not going to let the angry Mr. Lin win. I'm going to choose to do the tough thing, the right thing. I'm going to cheer myself on, and I'm not going to quit. And I've seen some of you second grade kids do that. I've seen some of you first grade kids do that. And I've seen some of you, the kindergarten kids do it. So keep it up. I want you to allow the version of you that is positive and encouraging to win over that negative version of you that may want to give up. Okay, so don't give up. I know it's going to be hard, especially when we have this last stretch before winter break. Our character trait of the month is compassion, kindness. We've wrapped up the coin drive, guys. That the last day was on Friday. You'll notice that the buckets are gone. They're being counted and weighed. And I'm really excited to see which grade level wins. Not only that, you might notice that the toys are all gone. They've already been shipped out of Pennsylvania to a state called Kentucky. And just as a reminder, those toys will go to kids whose homes were destroyed by this really, really violent storm called a tornado. And, their houses aren't built, they've lost everything. And, just as an act of compassion, we've decided to go ahead and deliver toys so those children may still be able to have something to smile about, to enjoy at the end of this week. Now, I want you to go around and tell people that you love them just the way they are. I love you just the way you are. And that brings us to our movie. We're going to watch a movie tomorrow, most of us are at least. And it's going to be called Wonder. And it's about a boy. His name's Augie. He was born a little bit different. He's like any other kid, except he was born with his face different than other people. In fact, if you watch this movie, you'll notice that sometimes he'll choose to wear a costume helmet over his head because he's afraid people will make fun of him. In fact, his mom and dad are afraid that Augie would get made fun of. And up through most of his grades, kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, they actually didn't let him go to school. His mom actually was his teacher at home. It's called homeschooling. But in sixth grade, in this movie, they decide to do something brave. And Augie decides he's going to go to a regular school, just like Fort Zeller. But he also knows he might get made fun of because he looks differently. He was born with his face different. And the question in this movie is, will the kids' kindness come and save the day? Or will the mean kids who want to make fun of him end up winning? Well, that's what the story is all about. And I can't wait to watch it with you guys. Can't wait to see you guys around. Have an amazing Monday.